Donald Trump's administration claims that they have arrested more than 1,000 individuals since his military took over the streets of D.C., effectively making Donald Trump the fascist dictator of the city. And those 1,000 people now have to be prosecuted. See, therein lies the problem for the administration. Because as we're hearing from lawyers in D.C. and even judges in D.C., there's really no evidence of crime for a lot of these people. You've trumped up the charges, basically taking a mild misdemeanor, some cases not even a misdemeanor, and you're trying to turn them into felonies. And that's, of course, because the U.S. Attorney for D.C., Jeanine Pirro, former Fox News host, wants to make Trump proud. They want to prove that we solved all this problem of crime. But in reality, they're just creating crimes and sticking it on these people, and none of it's working. And the hilarious thing about this is that the administration already had a chance to learn that this doesn't work with LA. Because what's happening in DC now in the legal system is exactly what happened in LA after Trump sent the National Guard over there. I'll explain in just a second, but first a quick word from today's video sponsor. There are a lot of corrupt Medicare agents out there pushing Medicare Advantage plans, even when they don't meet your needs. They do this because they're paid more to sell these plans. That's why I have partnered with Chapter. They don't just tout the amazing benefits of Medicare Advantage and convince you into a plan. Instead, they take the time to explain the pros and cons of all of your Medicare options. Original Medicare, Medicare Supplement, Medicare Advantage, and of course Part D. With their guidance, you'll understand your options and estimated medical costs based on your healthcare needs. By tailoring recommendations to you and only you, Chapter is able to find people average savings of $1,100. Hundreds of my viewers have already used Chapter, and I'm happy to hear about so many of your positive experiences. My mom is even working with Chapter right now, and I feel peace of mind knowing that she is in good hands. So if you're turning 65 soon, or if you already are on Medicare but unsure of your plan, call them up. Call them at the number on the screen for free advice tailored to you. So if you think back, a month and a half ago, whatever it was, when Trump sent the National Guard into LA, because ICE wanted to do their big raids, they arrested a lot of people. And they charged a lot of people. And what happened to the vast majority of those people? They were acquitted by the grand juries. The grand juries refused to bring charges against these folks. So in some instances, the administration had to say, all right, we'll lower the charges to misdemeanors so that we don't need a grand jury and you're going to get, 6 months of parole. But in a lot of the instances, the charges were dropped altogether. And the reason for that, the grand juries determined, is that the cops were lying. The administration was lying. Everybody's lying about what actually happened because the evidence that you presented to us shows clearly these people were hit with charges they definitely didn't deserve. And now we're starting to see the same thing play itself out in DC because the administration is very stupid and they didn't learn from what they did in LA, which is good. I'm glad. So we have had grand juries, as I've talked about, last week, humiliate Jeanine Pirro by refusing 3 times to indict a woman who the administration, Jeanine Pirro, had said, she assaulted an officer. 3 times they tried. 3 times the grand jury said, no, she didn't. They couldn't indict the sandwich thrower on felony charges. And we even had a judge last week who came out and said this. This was Judge Zia Farron, who was handling the case of a guy that was snatched up in a Trader Joe's after they illegally searched his bags in D.C., and Trump's Gestapo did. And the judge said, lawlessness cannot come from the government. We don't just charge people criminally, throw them in the jail for a few weeks, and then bring them in here and say, oops, my bad. I have never seen, ever in my life, something close to the illegality of this search. Then you have a defense lawyer, who of course is representing some of the people that have been rounded up by the Gestapo, that said of the charges against some of their clients, I think they're horse shit. They just want to have big numbers and to say they're doing an amazing job. Too bad for the people of District of Columbia. And that's the key. That's what's happening. Because the number everybody focuses on right now is the 1,000 arrests. The number that nobody's going to cover when all is said and done is the number of convictions. Because by then, the cameras have stopped rolling. By then, the reporters have moved on. By then, Trump has invaded another city, perhaps Chicago or New York or Baltimore or wherever. Nobody ever does the damn follow-up, and that's what pisses me off. And that's what's going to happen here. Oh, there'll be stories in a couple independent outlets that say like they only secured 3, convictions out of 1,000 arrests. You had 997 people that had charges dropped completely. But the administration will tout the 1,000 number. They'll fundraise off it. They'll probably make big posters of it and hang them from the buildings in D.C. like they are of Trump's stupid face right now. And they'll declare victory. And then they'll use that so-called victory as justification to do it somewhere else. But this is no victory. These D.C. prosecutors, the entire Trump administration, will be humiliated in court. The only problem is there won't be enough people to talk about it and report on it for most of the public to get that vital part of the story. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.